You are now tuned in to the GNWY podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the GNWY podcast, and we're going to go ahead and jump into it because I'm super excited about this guest because he flew all the way in from Canada. Everybody, go ahead and say Canada with me, my man, Joel Stumblingbear. If you can make some noise one time
Hit him with the
for
horns.
Joel Stumblingbear. OG with the head spinning. I cut that off real quick for you. So, bro, I'm excited that you're here, man.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Awesome.
I got
Glad.
you 2 cups of sweet tea. We're
Yes.
already blazed through that.
I'm
We're
already
ready
drinking
to
it.
go.
I'm telling you.
We're ready to go.
I'm telling you. They don't have sweet tea in Canada, just so you know. They got raspberry tea, and you can make your own sweet tea, but
So it's not sweet at all?
No, it's a different type of sweet.
What does that
Like
mean?
that annoy you kind that doesn't give you that. You know what I mean?
Make
like
your mouth
Chicken
water
Express.
type.
Oh man, I dream of Chicken Express tea.
Bro, that'll give you diabetes.
I'm trying to get
straight up.
diabetes 3 since I'm here. Okay.
Diabetes 3?
I'm telling you, it's a combination of both 1 and 2. But yeah, I found myself since I've been down here doing a grand tour of all
Type 3
all
diabetes.
the fast food places.
Yeah.
I got to cut it out.
What's the best one? So Chicken Express would be the first one that you would actually go to.
Yeah, I haven't met up with my peeps at Chicken Express just yet. But Sonic knows me well on the Midwest side.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, he's that one guy. He's came back. It's the 3rd time. Man, I'm trying to catch you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. But
That's what's up.
Yeah.
They come in with the rollerblades and everything too.
yeah, they're like watching
Serving
for
you.
me. Here he comes. Get it ready.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, bro, I appreciate you coming, man.
appreciate
And
being here.
for one, I'm just gonna say and give a slight introduction because I gave you the intro, which is like the professional intro,
You
but
betcha.
the actual intro of this
I'm ready
is
for it. Do it, bro.
is our friendship. Okay, let me give it up one time for our friendship. Okay, because you've been there, bro, from not only the beginning. Okay, the beginning of everything. Okay,
Everything.
whenever I met you, I'm trying to remember whenever I actually did meet you. Like, what was the circumstances?
It was at a wedding, and you were playing inappropriate music all the time. I was like, "Hey man, can we turn that down a little bit? Kids are running around." You were like, "No."
I
Get
was
it up.
like,
It's a Tootsie
I
Roll
was like,
song.
nah, turn it up. Whose
on the
wedding
Midwest
was
side.
it?
It was on the Midwest side, and next to that fire station. And I came in with our mutual friend Craig.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Hey, this is Jordan Miller. He's been putting it down for like since forever. You were 15 at the time. I was like, how long is forever? 5 years? 4 years?" And you had this little Fisher Price deck. You're like, "No,
Came
I'm
out the
gonna
womb.
kill it with this
Came
thing."
out the womb scratching the tables.
But yeah, and you were playing, and everyone it was a nice little wedding.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was there. Food was
Just to
hitting.
enjoy the environment.
I guess
And the
so.
sweet tea. Yeah. So anyway, you were there from the beginning, bro. And you actually shot my first music video.
I did, yeah.
That
I
was
wanted
wild.
I wanted you to bring that up first.
Oh,
'cause,
of course. I knew it was gonna
Tell
come
'em
up
what the name
somehow.
is.
The name of the song.
No, the name of you, good sir.
So I haven't brought this up. Okay, so last season I had I think it was Sean Johnson or somebody like that, and he brought it up, and I was like, upset with it for a little bit. Not upset. It's like in a actual upset way. Like, man, get off my podcast, right? But in a sense of like, dang, I didn't want that to come out there. But JJ Fresh was the name back in the day.
Boom in your face.
Now I'm okay with it because it was a season. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Over it. So, but the song was Boom in Your Face. 15 years old ish.
Yeah. The speculation was, what did boom in your face mean?
Yeah.
Some people thought it was a sexual innuendo. So we had to ask
While
you.
I was turning up the weddings, I made this song called Boom in Your Face.
And it was funny, we were at that wedding and you played that song. And I thought you were self-promoting at the time at a wedding. I was like, hey, get it where you can, baby.
Turn up.
Hey, shout out to the bride and groom. Boom in your face, about to come on. If everyone go to the dance floor, you can hit me up at jordanmiller.com.
Exactly. But like it was just so dope because like you were legit the beginning of what creativity of Jordan Miller was. So I want to say I appreciate you, bro,
appreciate
because
you.
our friendship runs deep. Also the native in it, you know what I'm saying? My man's Kiowa.
Yeah.
Okay. I hold the Kiki on the dog. You know. Did I do it? I did that one. I did that
You
right
did
though.
that right.
I've been practicing.
You studied, bro.
I did. And tell
Love
them
it.
what that means.
Thank you, Lord, is a good day. I think. I can go back to Google now.
What do you mean you think?
Aho Kionde.
I've been practicing that, saying that to so many people, acting like I know Kiowa, and you're trying to tell me that you don't know if that's what it means.
It feels like that's what it should mean, so we're gonna give it a pass.
Dang it! Excellent, but for real, man, like I've based off a lot of my creativity based off of you, bro. Because you, for one, you just have an energy about you that is like what creativity breeds, okay? And I think it's just for one, the fun, exciting, like welcoming everything, you taking ideas, getting excited about it, even if they're trash, okay? Like Boom in Your Face or anything else after that. You're like, oh yeah, we'll see what we can do. Trash. Later and then come up with another idea. But you for real like are the pinnacle of what I started to look up to as a creative genius, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
bro. That's some high honor and praise. I really appreciate that.
And because like your turnaround from like learning, because you picked up a camera and then you were like, hey, I'm gonna try to take a couple shots, blah 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 blah, and then like a year later you're like just fire out of nowhere, and then I'm like, where did you learn this? Oh, YouTube. I just and then you know what I'm saying, and it's just like it's legit mind blowing how fire you are, even looking at it now. But yeah, even back then I was just like, poof,
bro,
blown away.
The praise and the adoration is mutual for sure. I don't think I could have done anything in that time without having friends that were just as crazy, wanting to try different things.
Right.
But also too, not fearing of failing was definitely a huge part of it.
Right.
And I think a lot of the things that I've learned along the way, definitely YouTube being there, but also having you and a couple of other friends around, like, hey, let's just go try something else. Let's go try something different.
Definitely.
Because, you definitely want to see where the end of those passions go and chase them out. But now I'm doing, like I was mentioning earlier, full out commercials for dealerships where I'm from.
Up in Canada.
Yeah, Nissan and Honda and stuff like that. And it's really cool because I don't think some of those building blocks that we would have done back then they help contribute to where I am now.
Definitely.
So definitely mutual feeling, and I appreciate that.
Of course, man.
I never knew you felt that way. You could text me, bro.
Hey, man, you know, I try to keep those feelings just stuffed down, you know what I'm saying? So nobody really knows the true feelings of me, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but
I wanted to say something earlier, too. You said something about JJ Fresh and Boom in Your Face. I've always told you should own that. Those are building steps of you. Like,
yeah.
We criticize too much of where we started to not give us credit to where we are. To know that is a part of the genius. Right. Genius is raw. Genius is real. In its time and its beginning.
What'd you just say?
Genius is raw and genius is real. I got a shirt coming out next week with that on it.
Excellent.
No,
excellent.
But and I've learned not to criticize the beginning because when we stop this journey or go into something different, in the wake of what we do, that's what spurs inspiration for other people. Yeah. And you never know what spurs until if you conceal your genius or your rawness or something like that, then you're basically robbing that from somebody else. Right. So never fear to fail in your pursuit of what you feel is you want to create and do. And I think that's where I've always been. A lot of the stuff that I feel a lot of the stuff that I have done, I feel that it's not for most people, and it's kind of dumb when I look at it and then go on to do something else. Right. Sorry, that breath.
Catch it, yeah.
But also, too, imposter syndrome is a real thing.
It's just talking about that.
It's a real thing, yeah. Where you don't feel like for me anyways, you don't get the gratitude that you feel is there. And then when you reach that zone, like where you are now, GNWY and everything else you got going, it kind of feels a little lackluster. Like, man, there should have been people at this finish line, like pat me on the back, like, hey, you made it. Right. If you've created a small business, if you created an organization, those are monumental things that it's hard to build. Yeah. And since you were the one seeing how the steak is made, it really takes away the magic from a lot of it. But
definitely.
You see,
and that's why like so many people are looking at like, you know, Kanye and like anybody that comes up with anything crazy or just acts crazy, right? Or we see them in the type of lens of an outsider anyway. And everybody just goes out of their way to just judge somebody, right? But like thinking of that person, you know, in the creative seat, in the creative realms, like you don't know what they're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? You don't know why they thought about what they're thinking about or whatever they're wanting to create. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like we just like your imposter syndrome you're talking about is like why do we have and why do we feel like we have so much like authority to judge somebody's creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff is really what is capping people off, and that doubt, because they fear somebody judging what they're gonna say. Like what's the point of judging that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like I just want to know like what is the biggest thing and what spurs off your creativity in general?
I think it's right now it's music. A lot of
Really
music that I listen
like
to.
Making music or like
listening to music spurs everything else for me. Like that's the
what type of music?
It's where it starts. Man, lo-fi's got me hooked, line and sinker right now. Like you just put something on, and I started to listen to a song, and then it like, oh man, that'll be great in a commercial. You put that idea on a shelf somewhere. Yeah. Or oh man, that'll be great for this dramatic commercial that I'm about to shoot. Yeah. So that goes into a dramatic file, and then you have this storehouse of ideas that keep spurring through music, and allows me to create. But also too, if it was, I don't know, if I wanted to be inspired to paint something, I'd walk through Lowe's or Home Depot or something, look at the color palettes. For me, it's always been music. And I got storybooks, like notebooks of ideas that I've just been coming up with. And then when something says, hey, I want to go shoot a drone shot of this farmer's field. Oh, open the tabs, open to farming, because I have I have a category for farming, and I pull out music,
for real,
listen to it again, and then get inspired.
That's what's up.
That's why you can capitalize on old ideas, because there's a lot of them inside of creatives' heads. I read this really interesting study that if you are a creative, personally, it ties into a lot of things. And I've used to deal with like insecurities. In this study, they start to say that when you're creative, you are thought to think without filters. You receive information as it comes, and you just let it flow through you. And then you can become self-conscious about that, because you forget to turn that little light on or turn it off. And when you go about your day, all that starts to sink in. That's now your life. There's no separation between the two. You always thinking of a creative mindset. You're always living your life, right? So they start to mesh. So I've really learned to pull from both of them and use both, if anything, as a negative, in order to be a positive and to create in that. And then that's where a lot of I always call it everyone's their own genius, their own creating. But I feel like I'm going on a rabbit hole. So I'm just going to blink really fast and,
and it'll all go away. That's real though. Like, cause even for me, like for one, I mean, obviously music has kind of been on the back burner because we've been focusing a lot on Gen Y and stuff like that. But like whenever I do get the time to sit down and actually write, it's crazy. Cause like even throughout my days, I'm thinking about stuff, you know what I'm saying? Lyrically, musically, all that kind of thing, getting inspired by music, like you're saying, and all that. But like when it comes time to sit down and write, that's whenever the doubt comes in. That's whenever the insecurity comes in. That's whenever it's like, dang, the spotlight's on me to actually pull this creative stuff out and make it a thing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And like, all that like questioning about yourself. And then, that comes out for me personally. And then, but like whenever I actually get done with something, that sense of completing something is like the most fulfilling thing in the world, I feel like. And I don't know if like, I mean, even if my dad, like he gets like so worked up and excited about whenever he gets done with a woodworking project or something like that. He said that he gets so like the fulfillment of it is like he's trying to find even little things like that to fix around the house just to get that fulfillment of I completed something. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like even some creatives and some like creative geniuses, we start so much, but we never finish it. And I feel like that's where some of us, like as creatives, we feel like either depleted or like, I feel like there's a hair. Do you see that, man?
No, man, you're straight.
Would you just
looking at those beautiful eyes? You
just baby blue. Okay. They call me Baby Blue J in the streets. You already know. Anyways. But yeah, so my dad, he just goes around trying to complete something. And I feel like most of us creative genius, we never actually get to that completing state and that liberating feel of like, I created something and birthed it in my head. Now I'm able to say I got it done. And then, we all feel like there's a lack, there's a hole in us, you know, as a creative. So that's where I feel like there's so many people that are walking around like feeling insecure or incompleted because they haven't found something that they can complete. You know what I'm saying? So then they initially feel incompleted themselves, or like something is wrong with them because they haven't gotten that fulfillment feel. You know what I'm saying? And so like I feel like that's where I feel like we just all as a crowd need to stop judging people. That's where I feel like you created that type of welcoming feel, which I initially started to carry on into Generation Y, is to create an environment that is welcoming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is accepting. That is like, you know what? You're dope. Like, I don't care where you came from. I don't care what house, you know, you grew up in or whatever side of town you are on or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we all just got together collectively, all diversity, like all different talents and abilities all came together and unified for one purpose, which is spreading purpose.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
where the fulfillment comes in, because I find purpose, and I was telling somebody the other day, is like, purpose is an intangible thing. So how do you even like get to something that's intangible? And then how do you even push something that is intangible, right? You have to exude that. Especially whenever you're talking to students or something. Like, whenever I was a kid, like, I did not want to listen to anybody, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how your experience was at school, but, like, were you, like, really into it?
No, not at all. Especially when people come do motivational. I was just trying to get a girlfriend, man.
Exactly. We started doing swag service. Like, this is not a time to get a girlfriend. They're all like, ooh, yeah, I just connected. What's up, girl?
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, even that whole thing, like, you cannot push something intangible to somebody if you cannot tangibly show them how they can use it, right?
Absolutely.
So if I promote purpose without showing you tangible ways of having to do it, I'm just talking to the air, right? But if I can show you and emulate what purpose looks like, then you start to grasp what your own purpose is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to be in love with it before they can be in love with it themselves. Because people, I think kids nowadays, this generation definitely sees the real for the real. And they know how to navigate their own way in life, because the rate of information that's being fed to everyone through social media,
fast.
they can see and feel for themselves. They're more educated quickly than we were coming up, or our fathers and mothers were when they were. But if you live that out in that genuine aspect of you just being you. I once heard Jim Carrey say, risk you being in all your dumb glory about who you are at the mercy of you looking like a fool. And if you start to live that out organically, you start to learn that, number one, you become that authentic person. Number two, you create a piece about you that, man, I've loved what I do, and I want other people to love it too. And that genuineness it supersedes everything else. Like, they can recognize is real. And I think that's why GNWY has been so successful in its approach to being that, finding your purpose in a way that it's not all, it goes past the song and the dance. Now, if you want to get into a religious aspect about it, that, God, there's a scripture that aligns with exactly with what you guys are doing, and it's using the arts. What you got, what your weapons, your dance and song and your power and your tongue and everything else that only can be received if it's given genuinely. And that's when things start to actually last and change. And you were mentioning earlier about me being an authentic person. I've had one person crush my heart and feelings when I was younger. It wasn't a female, but it was someone was saying, "Oh man, you're a fake person." And I was like, "Am I fake? Am I fake?" Then I started overeating, and then I got crazy into myself, right? And then
Really?
That's when
Fake about what? What were they saying?
Fake about me trying to please other people, and
Really?
me trying to just want friends. And in my pursuit of being happy, I forgot about myself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I got older, and then I started creating this piece about myself that couldn't be touched. So no matter what I do, I don't care what other people think or how other people perceive it, because I don't create for anyone else. I don't live my life for anyone else but me and my family. But in that genuineness, the fear kind of goes away of creating. The fear kind of goes away of like, I know I'm not doing this for you, and you paid me to do something. But you also paid me for my vision and how I see it, not how it can be interpreted. So I really got to start selectful of how I can create and what I do, and the rest is kind of history. The following goes with you, and
that's dope. There's speaking of real and Jim Carrey, all together. I saw the reel of Jim Carrey. He was at the graduation thing, and he was talking about his dad, and he said that his dad was like the best comedian. He feel like he could have been the best comedian in the world or whatever, but he went to a regular 9-to-5 job, all that kind of stuff, and his going to what is comfortable, led him to a point where his job actually let him off. And then he got depressed and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, wouldn't you rather fail in something that you could be amazing at or settle for the comfortable that could still fail you? Right? So it's like, you see so many people walking around like zombies, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not fulfilling, not being fulfilled, not living out what they could be creating. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you're living a half life pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that it's dope, like just the approach that we're going at it with talking about purpose. And so I remember, man, was it like 6 years ago or something like that? Whenever we were doing, was it 6 years ago we were doing Project Elevate?
Oh, yeah.
Well, 6 or 7?
It was about 6, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So
we'll say 6, and everyone better believe it.
Excellent. So there was a time during that, man. So why don't you go ahead? Okay, so this is actually even dropping bombs in game on like how even Generation Y got started. So this will be the first out for many of people, whoever's out there. You know what I'm saying? You can learn a little bit on how Generation Y was started, and this is it. So thanks to Joel and a couple other people, you started Project Elevate, right? Yeah. So tell them what that even started and what that came from.
Project Elevate came out of a need of an older organization called HYPE, Helping Youth Prepare for Excellence. And it was a school-based program that we would go in and talk to at-risk teens about bullying and suicide and self-awareness. And it generated out of a cause to genuinely see the youth of today rise above what the status quo or whatever they're dealing with at the time. Basically gave them a purpose and a bridge of communication, if you will, between parents, teachers, and the kids alike. So inside of that, we started using the creative arts in HYPE, and then followed that model into Project Elevate on just a more concentrated basis of what we do. But it wasn't about just the song and dance. It had to do with more or less letting kids see themselves, us, live freely and just be goofy, basically, and open up and break down walls so that way we can start communicating about the problem. Yeah. And through that, I've realized even today to GNWY that it doesn't matter who holds that mantle as long as that mantle is being held. It's like we're all fighting for the same thing, and it's better. It's for the pursuit of the youth. There's thousands of youth that need to be saved, and it doesn't matter which model you used in order to go after. Just go, just move, start moving your feet. And that's where the need came from to do the Project Elevate. Everything else that we did was the traveling, and we started to try to do small YouTube series and stuff. But, sometimes things aren't meant to last forever, and certain blessings aren't meant to sustain us forever, and life just happens. So when you were in that time with the group of Project Elevate, I'm glad you got to learn from some of the templates that we had for going inside of the school systems, but also I'm glad that the mantle was carried into something different, something that's relevant and modern that really speaks to kids in Generation Y, that it's definitely game changing. But things like that are meant to change the world are very hard to carry because, to put it in a religious aspect, devil doesn't like the light, right? To put it in a modern aspect, evil doesn't like the good. So with that, I've learned, just move, just go, just start going, right? Because people will start talking, hope is a corny concept. Talking about bullying, it is what it is. I mean, you throw whatever name you want at it, but man, I would have loved when someone came to my school and talked to me about hope, that you're not the only one, that whatever your circumstance you're going through, there's something better beyond that. Yeah. And for someone just to come in and set a small seed and be like, hey, life gets better. I would have loved that inside of my Native American boarding school, but I didn't get that. I was
Shout out to Riverside.
Yeah, shout out to Riverside Alumni 04.
Alumni 04.
Golly, don't put that out there.
We went
I think that was when dirt was created.
we went. That was back when Soldier Boy popping. No, I'm playing.
Those big old elephant pants, the huge, like, golly, we can go way back.
No, wait. No. 04? 04, that was something else.
No, 04, man. I don't know what was going on in 04.
But so even with how was it being raised in a native boarding school though?
It was rough. A lot of kids from a lot of different parts of the country that the staff, the faculty, everything did an amazing job, but the kid's going to be a kid.
Right.
And there were, I'm not going to repeat it so people don't do it, but there's some abuse there, you know, some peer on peer type thing that kids are just wilding out. But now seeing where they are as a school is amazing. But at the time, you really had to defend for yourself. Yeah. And learn in a very hard way. But like my dad used to always say, no matter where you go, you can get into whatever you want to. It's all accessible anywhere. Definitely. You know, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Quote it, put it on a shirt. But yeah, inside of that, there were a lot of things to learn in life, and definitely glad I graduated and moved on. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I made it out alive. I had to fight these hands.
Bro, that I think even last time that we were there not too long ago, a couple months ago.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and you're right, it has changed even from the time that we went the first time with Project Elevate, and then now with GNWY a couple months ago, bro, is changed quite a bit, even that short amount of time. So shout out to the assistants, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So yeah, but even that whole mentality, man, it was kind of sad in a way, because it's like, I mean, these kids come from all over, bro. And that was even something that I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but like I even got into just like, I mean, from even the beginning of doing music, just wanting to get into the culture of music, as in like I just like learning and being a part, and just like seeing how people, you know, just appreciate life in different ways, and you know what I'm saying. And so it was in that aspect. And then whenever I started hanging out with you, bro, I started like gaining even more immensely of an appreciation for, you know, the Native American culture and everything like that. And that was, I mean, 12 years ago, something like that, whenever we first met. And so that was a long time ago. Crazy.
Very long time ago, yeah.
But like even getting into that, I was just thinking about it too, because whenever I was talking about this the other day to somebody, I think, and I tell this to so many other people, bro, I think it was 2015, something like that. When did you first leave for Canada?
I think it was 2014.
14. Okay, so we were going into 15.
Oh, sorry, I left to go to Canada 2012.
No, it's then the second time.
And then I left. I came back at the end of 2013. Yeah,
when you finally left, I guess. Right.
In case there's a rift in the timeline.
Yeah, somebody's gonna go do their research. He's wrong. Looking up your flight schedule. But like during that whole time, like there was a whole lot of stuff going on, even racially, like with the Eric Garner and stuff. And I was just like, you know, so passionate about it. I was like, this is so messed up, right? And doing all this stuff. And bro, whenever I connected with you, you were up late. This is how I'm painting the picture. I'm good with details. So let me tell you the story. So Joel Stumblingbear was upstairs editing away, doing this thing, having a hard time with his computer, having a, you know, rendering 4K files and taking hours and hours to do that because it was an old computer. Anyway, so doing that, bro, and we were just having this deep conversation about race stuff, and then we started getting into like the whole Native side of it. Bro, I've never seen somebody, I thought I was passionate about it, right? And then I never saw somebody just as passionate, obviously, because you are way more native than I am. So it's like, but you started balling, bro. And then you were like, I get it. I also see the side of us and how my people are literally almost gone. Population wise, property wise, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, dang. Like, I just saw it from you. You know what I'm saying? And I never seen that much, you know, passion come from one person about their own people. And then I was just like blown away by it, bro. And I was just like, there was a whole new appreciation for that. Right?
Absolutely. You got to appreciate where you come from and keep the culture alive.
Right.
Because, it's changed a lot. There's kids that don't appreciate where you come from, but you really got to know where you're from and appreciate that before you can go on in life and like try to carry that on. In other words, I feel as if we're a big blend of just everything, which is nice. I mean, in the long scheme of things, but those traditions and heritages have got to be kept on. You know, I feel like I've done a halfway job to that, but definitely got to keep that a party because I got passing it on to my daughters and the languages and, you know, singing Kiowa hymns to them every single night. You know, it's important to keep that with them. Yeah,
definitely. And then even to go back to the Riverside stuff, we did a tour pretty much, like we partnered with the tribes down there, and they booked us for quite a bit of shows down there, southeastern Oklahoma. And so like we went down there, bro, and I was so like going into OKC public schools, definitely like it's just rough, like, you know what I'm saying, and
Absolutely.
like being able to talk to them about purpose, and then, you know, some of them getting it, and then some of them being like, well, you're not going home to my home, you know what I'm saying, and then they're like having that, you know, kind of resentment and stuff like that. But like you go into southeastern Oklahoma, nothing, right? Fields, cattle, no Wi-Fi, stuff smelling like sulfur, all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, you going into that with the mindset of you're about to try to change somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you go back home and you got like community and it's all that, like there's so much going on around you, a lot more going on than out there, right? And it's like, how do you, and this would be a good question to you, right? But like, how would you approach something that is so like desolated, so out there that it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're talking to somebody that you don't know what they go home to or what they get inspired by or what they could have the resource or whatever to be, you know, whatever they want to be if you're pushing purpose so much. You know what I'm saying? And it's like playing the devil's advocate on like purpose, you know what I'm saying? And I try to do that all the time. Try to play both sides. But it's like where's that line of I'm trying to push purpose, but then also knowing you're just planting a seed, and however it grows, it grows. You know what I'm saying? But how would you push that type of purpose in such a desolated area? And it's all native, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's so sad
too.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I want to love the community. I want to love what I'm somewhat a part of, you know what I'm saying? And then some people on our team are a part of, and it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. My daughters are in one of my daughters is 3 years old, and she's in swim class. And there's a great quote that I've learned to live by. And it's when you are raising children or helping children in any aspect, you're helping somebody. It's when it comes time for them to swim, or when it comes time for them to get in the water. It's not a matter if they're going to drown. It's when they're going to drown. So you teach them for when they're going to drown, what to do. Because as parents, as mentors and leadership, we're not always going to be there. Just like our mothers and fathers wish they could have been there for every single battle we fought. But when you teach them how to drown, to what to do, lift your head up, float, put your chest up, you give them the tools for when they're ready, for when they have to drown, when they have to go through it themselves. So when you're talking about going down there and talking to children and people in that aspect, you give them the tools for when it's their time. And it comes in the state of hopelessness of, listen, I've been there for where you are and I know what you're going through. Maybe not everything is cookie cutter like that. And you know, we're not in every single circumstance like they are. But when they're drowning, you teach them to hold their head up. You keep your head strong. You look for a good way out of those situations. Get connected with resources or friends. You know, you just have to want, and you instill that drive in them. And then you leave. That's it. You hope that someone or something happens in their life that they're able to connect with. But it's those deep planted words, like you teach them for when they're ready, that they'll hold on to. And I know this is not even a subject to be on, but have you ever seen the movie Interstellar? There's something in there so great that I take on every single conversation, is that
you could listen to that soundtrack and it would be so
I'm telling you, one time I was sitting with some friends, we turned out the lights and just listened to that soundtrack.
For real.
You start to go through your own, like, oh, I'm on Mars, or like, oh, I'm on my spaceship. You just mind starts going, right? And inside of there, he says a quote. He says, "We're just ghosts for our children." Which is the absolute truth. You're just the memories. You're just building until it's time to go.
Dang.
So it's this cyclical thing of when your kids are born or someone that's coming up behind you, because it always happens, right? And you're teaching and you're mentoring someone else, you're going to be gone.
Right.
Then it's just, hey, this is what my father used to say to me or my mother used to say to me.
Wow.
And then when their kids have kids, it's the cyclical thing. And it's just this generational thing. So you got to make sure your generation is strong.
Yeah.
And I've done not done a lot, but received a lot of counseling and talked to people and therapists. I feel like it's very healthy for a lot of people.
And a lot of people look at it in such a negative connotation for like what talking to a counselor is. That's so dumb because like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like me talking to you. Why do you talk to your friends? To get it out.
Exactly.
Why do you talk to somebody else? It's just the difference between paying somebody or not. I guess, you know what I'm saying? Or getting professional help.
And it's crazy to believe that we're going to have the answer for every single question in life. Someone else that's probably gone through it, have schooling for it, why not talk to them? Because they'll help you figure some things out. So talking through with some counselors, I really start to go through and realize that I not only had this generational traumas, generational soul ties, and not to get on the whole religious aspect of it, but there is some things that if someone said something to you in the past or done something, it's really hard to shake that.
Right.
Well, those counselors have now given me the tools to okay, let's overcome that, to not keep repeating that for your daughters. And so. Yeah.
And the biggest thing for that, to be honest, is like understand. So like, talking with my girlfriend, all right, and she comes from a whole different background, right? And I've got my family together, grew up with both parents, all that kind of stuff. She did not, all that. And then like now, whenever we have conversations and everything, we're both talking, and I ask her, where does this come from? Where does these like either outbursts or reaction, or like not outbursts of like going crazy, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just passionate about this or want it this type of way. And I do the same thing. Right. And so like, and I ask myself same thing, which I do the same thing for other people whenever they come up to you and try to project a problem. If we're projecting a problem and you feel so passionate about that problem, why and where does that come from? Right. Why do I react the way that I do? Why do I have certain triggers that I'm so passionate about? Right? Where does it trigger from? Which triggers usually come from trauma, right? So like you trying to figure all that out, you finding the why behind you do anything. And I even wrote this in my notes to make this a video, but like even deciding a job that you want to go to, right? Why do you want to do that job? Why do you want to go toward just the money? Why do you get mad whenever somebody calls you a name? Why do you react in the type of way when somebody gets a tone with you? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many reasons, but you have to ask yourself why, because that really does stem from either your past, because if you grew up in a household, right? This is why the generation, and I feel like if people can paint this in a picture for somebody, then it all makes sense. But like if you, let's say, you react in this certain type of way. You were grown up in a household that was always, you know, either yelling at each other or, you know, some type of family drama, whatever. They even project their own insecurities on how they're going to raise their kids. So then those like preconceived insecurities are implanted in that kid. So now that kid reacts, hey man, we don't got time. We don't got time.
Sorry,
for
you got
this.
it. You got it.
You got the vid?
Yeah.
You said
no,
yeah?
No.
Hey, man.
No. We shut this down real quick.
No, I'll play. No, they let you in the country with the vid?
No,
I see what they're doing to America.
I went through 2 different tests to get here.
I'm playing. But you know what I'm saying? So like you are instilling insecurity into your kid on how you raise them. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking at my kid and mad or something that he doesn't choose the sport or whatever that I want him to choose, then I'm starting to like instill insecurity or doubt into that kid, right? And who knows how he's going to turn out just based off of that one doubt. That one doubt thought that you as a parent, as an adult, right, that's supposed to know everything, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting that doubt into that kid just based off of one thing, right? And so that will carry on and then build on more doubt. So now you're just putting a doubtful kid into the world and just be like, all right, you got this. You know what I'm saying? That sucks.
Yeah.
Why do people do that? That's anyway. You got kids, but let's get.
I've heard this interesting study through Harvard where it talks about a millennial mindset to parenting, and it was commending a lot of young men for stepping up for their parents. Like, I'm not gonna let my kid go through what I went through, and they were calling it like a corny thing. A lot of people in the comments are like, "How dare you?" Which I have to agree. Like, kind of how dare you? Because we're just dealing with the tools that we were taught. Right. And at some point we got to understand that that generational stuff stops with us. We are the first ones in line to stop that way of thinking. There was a really cheesy but true picture I was seeing the other day, and it was a wolf standing over a little baby wolf. It was just cute. And all these arrows were in the back of this wolf. And it was like, my child won't have to go through what I went through. And I was like, yeah, I take it for face value, scroll on. But that little seed stayed in there. Like, yeah, that's actually pretty true. A lot of these things that I've learned probably the wrong way now changed to the way that I would want them to learn in the world that we're living in right now. Yeah. With information be so accessible, we have to like have smaller times when my daughter can have YouTube because it's just a lot in there.
Just like screen time and stuff.
A lot in there. And it's easy to pass a YouTube or an iPad to her.
As the babysitter, right?
As the babysitter.
Bro,
yeah, because
so
we don't want to engage in that moment because we're just trying to breathe as young parents, right?
Right.
But then you start to learn that everything that is that divisive, that those smaller things where you actually pay attention a little more, you'll start to see them raised up in the right way. But it stops with us for sure, and it's not an easy thing to do, but definitely necessary. For sure.
It's huge, man. I mean, like even whenever I'm with my son, I intentionally he sometimes asks for the phone. He's gotten 3.5 years old. I always talk about at assemblies he's my height just to get the giggles. But anywho, so since you didn't laugh, I'll do my own. So anyways, golly, we got tough crowd.
I thought we were getting serious.
Nah, bro,
like,
don't laugh.
Don't
laugh, bro. Jeez, tough crowd. No, play. But whenever I'm talking to him and he's saying like, "Can I have your phone? Can I watch a video?" All this kind of stuff. I'm like, no. So I distract him and then start doing something else, right? And like seeing his mind, bro. You can even watch. Have you ever watched your kid's eyes and like know that there's something going on in their head and they're thinking about what to do, what not to do, or should I say this, whatever? And it's just so dope to be able to. And I feel like there's those parents, bro, that do not take that time, that intentional time to just understand their kid. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's whenever this becomes so easy and be like, hey, go ahead, watch a video. Go ahead, do, a tablet or whatever. And it's so crazy to me. I understand like giving it to them for a little bit just to understand. So like whenever they get older, they're still acclimated to it. They know how to use it, all that kind of stuff. But it's like you getting to the point of like we're at Whataburger or something like that. You just giving a phone the whole time. They're just on their phone. Just like, bro, they look like zombies. You're creating, bro. Whoa. So a 9-to-5 job created us as zombies, some of us, right? The phone we're giving to our kids, creating kid zombies growing up. That's like off like some wild stuff. But what if we're doing that?
Yeah.
We're creating like some weird, like not weirdo kids because that sounds bad. But like what if we're creating that type of like numbness for the next generation?
Well, you're definitely in control, man. You're definitely in control of everything that happens, and to think that we're not is disengaged a little bit, Right. But that's just through the eyes of having kids. Especially, I have 2 little toddlers. I mean, well, one of them's 3 and the other one's 10 months, and it's a constant like awareness of what's going on, and having them really brings up a lot of like, dang, am I traumatized? Like when one of my daughters was born, I just couldn't stop crying. I didn't pass out or anything, but I was sobbing pretty hard in the corner.
Just like of the concept of you knowing that you have a kid now, or what?
It came in the sheer love of like, you're here. You're dope. Finally here. Yeah. And I can't wait to just spoil you with everything that I feel like I didn't have enough of. And it went like 20 minutes into it, and the nurse was like, "Hey, is he gonna be all right?" I was like, "Leave me alone." They're like, "Do you want to help you hold your baby and cut the umbilical cord?" I said, "Give me all of that, all of it."
You start cutting so many babies.
Yeah, I was like, "This needs to be cut too. What are we doing?" But
Edward Scissorhands in there.
Yeah, but then I started to get in there and realize, like, man, I wouldn't want to live my life any other way.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're talking about purpose, like you know where you're going to be going, what you're getting into.
Yeah.
I think that gets you over imposter syndrome.
Mm.
That gets you over like that realness of like, I set a goal. And as soon as you get there, know that this is probably the only attaboy you're ever going to receive is through your own ignition or your own recognizing that you've made it. So I think that's where a lot of the tears started coming in. And every single day I look at my daughter, like there's a new adventure. And I don't care if that seems corny to anyone else. That's my life. That's my story. And I'm enjoying every single piece of it.
That's real.
So shout out to my wife. We're going to have 9 kids. She doesn't know it yet. But we're on number 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
We got 7 more to go.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So she's going to be pregnant her whole life. So that's good.
Basically, they're going to walk out and they're going to just have numbered shirts at some point. There's number 1, number 2, number 3.
No names. That's amazing. That's dope, man. Well, dude, I mean, I know you probably got stuff to do, but
I know you're trying to kick me off. We stay here forever, baby.
That wasn't it. Bro, you legit, like, even, I remember times where I'll just call you and you're in Canada, and then I'll just be upset with you because you're in Canada, but that's fine, no big deal. But I'll just call you just because I wanted to hear some nuggets of wisdom, because there's something about you that there's just, I don't know where it comes from, but... so
I appreciate it, and I'm always there. I'm just moving around in the background, trying to make sure understanding stuff. But like Lil Wayne said, little G's. Oh man, I told myself.
Move in silence.
Oh wait, let me get it.
Sorry.
Then you can clip it.
We'll run it back.
Like Lil. Like Lil
Why'd
Wayne
you do the
said,
lip
real
pop?
G's.
You can't say that quote and pop your lip too.
Guess my wife is watching.
Time.
What's up, baby? Like Lil Wayne.
Just like Lil Wayne said.
I was trying to think of what he said. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. That's what I was trying to say.
You didn't even say it with confidence.
Just cut that whole thing. Man, it was funny. I was in Brahms. I was like, hey, I'm about to go enjoy this podcast. I'm going to think of something cool to say. One little nugget of knowledge. Yeah, you can go ahead and cut that. Oh, my word.
So you were in Brahms, and that was the nugget of wisdom you came up with?
Yeah.
Was it Lil Wayne?
I got another little nugget of wisdom, but it feels like it's going to just be downplayed by what's going on currently. But the Lil Wayne approach seemed
just like
legit.
Lil Wayne says. Go ahead.
It's something I found on TikTok, but it ain't worth it now.
What did Little Boosie say? Give us to something else. Megan Thee Stallion once said, like she's passed on. She's still alive. So
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you bringing me on.
You were gonna say something.
No, I'm trying to skip it, cuz. I'm trying to skip the whole thing.
Oh man, dude.
I was just gonna say some of these negative things in your life.
Yeah.
You gotta let them go or be dragged. That's the that was the other thing. But anyways,
going back to the ASMR stuff, we should just do a different pops.
Yeah, exactly.
You said that you try to do a 10-minute Lay's commercial for your ASMR channel.
I did. Oh, so here's the thing about imposter syndrome. It won't allow you to post anything. I did 4 podcasts with me and my partners, and I didn't
4 podcasts of ASMR videos?
No, I wish I could.
How many bags of chips is that?
That's quite a bit if you think about it. And the yogurt. But that never came to light because I was like, man, this looks too corny. But seeing this whole setup,
you had
man,
4 dudes on this chat? This episode?
This one? No, because this is my first time here.
No.
Were you talking about the one back home?
Yes, yours.
No, it was the same person over and over and over and over again. It was one of my partners in the business. Shout out to Brittany.
So y'all two both did an ASMR channel?
I'm the only one because I was too embarrassed to put that out there.
But it did not upload. That's what you're saying?
Only on OnlyFans. Yeah.
Praise God.
See this?
How much a month? How much a month can you get that?
People were paying me to not do it. I just put it that way. I was gonna spread chips on me, put yogurts in the weird spots. God dang.
Do you got a dog?
Nah.
You let that, oh yeah, you don't like dogs. We get
hey. So quick story about Jordan Miller. One time I went over to his house and he had this dog, his rescue dog. It was nice, I'm sure. You know,
I'm sure
on Sundays. But I go over there like, hey man, we're gonna talk about some projects and stuff we're gonna get into.
No.
This dog stayed up on my lap like this the entire time, like, hey. He's like, don't you move a muscle. I was like, Jordan, come get your dog, man. He don't bite. And I was like, all right, tried to adjust myself in the seat. Jordan's like, he didn't just bite. And I said, Jordan, hey, can you please get your dog? He's like, no, man, it's so funny. Darnell was there too. Y'all just laughed at me.
No.
Okay, look,
no.
there's a little scar right
That
here.
That's not from that.
A Chihuahua bit
Okay,
that
that's not
open
from my dog.
when I was 10 years old. No, I was 8 years
that's
old.
what the trauma is.
And I wouldn't stop bleeding.
Okay, so that's where the trauma come from. Now we know why you got upset.
And you guys-
and this was your fear. Okay,
Yeah.
if dogs can sense fear, don't sit like this.
What you want me to sit like, man?
A normal person. If real G's move in silence like lasagna, they don't sit like that.
I was trying to sit like lasagna, just real still. I just wasn't
No.
moving. I wasn't trying to move around.
No. Oh my god.
The moral of the story is you
that
guys
dog was
bullied
awesome.
me.
Me and my dog?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that dog got sent back, so it's okay. All because of you. I'm just playing. No, man. We have some funny stories, though. We can
Funny
go
stories,
on and on.
yeah.
I remember long road trips with you, bro.
Mm.
Hilarious. I don't know what if you remember any of them. Do you remember?
Yeah, the one we went out to FCCLA in California.
Oh, the national one.
The national one, yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
smelled in that van the whole entire ride. No, that truck.
That was delicious.
Yeah.
We were in separate vehicles, though, so.
Well, I've heard stories. My brother was texting me. He was like, hey, it's super lit in here. And they won't don't remember the windows.
Bro, I don't know. I don't know if can we say it?
Do it.
Can we say what happened with
Yeah.
Junior?
Absolutely. He won't
Are
care.
you sure?
Absolutely.
Okay, this is kind of an explicit story. So,
He take his clothes off again?
no. Remember when he had the water bottle?
Yeah. What did he do with it?
What he put in the water bottle?
Did he pee in it?
No.
What did he do?
There was like some. I think he got some liquor and put it in the water bottle. Made Craig think that it was water, and he was just down. Bro, remember?
No,
and then
I
he
was in the
called.
other
He
vehicle.
called your mom. Remember? And he was tripping.
He was crying?
And then you had to call Junior because he was tripping and calling your mom.
Dang, bro. I
Remember?
that.
But he was drizzed as frick.
Driving
And
to
he
California?
was he wasn't driving. No, me and him were in the back seat. We were the youngest ones.
So you're drinking with him.
No, I didn't even know because it was
That's
it was in
real
a
native
water
for
bottle.
you right there. You would have taken a Listerine if you can get it. God dang.
You remember? You've got to remember that because you
I was
called
in
him.
the other car.
I remember you called him and he put you on speakerphone. And he was like, and you're like, Junior, you know, this is not the right thing to do on this type of trip.
We're talking about betterment of kids and like youth stand up. And here he is trying to get sauced in the back. Oh man, I'll call him today and ask him about it.
Funny, bro. And then Craig didn't believe it because you called Craig, and then Craig was like, "Nah, he's good. He's just in the back seat. I think he's kind of sleeping, all that kind of stuff."
Oh my
And I'm
word.
just watching everything go down, and then I'm listening to you on the phone. I'm like, man, I don't know how this is gonna end
Oh,
up.
my word.
And then I hear mom talking because he put her on the phone, and he's just like, "Hey, mom, yeah, we're coming back from California. I'm feeling great right now."
Well, shout out to him.
so-
He's been sober for 3 years now.
Hey, that's
yeah,
what's
he's living
up,
a good
man.
life now.
That's what's up.
He's got his own. He's got his own company.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, so he's doing well for himself.
Hey, shh, calm down. But yeah, that's dope, man. But yeah, it was a funny trip. I just remember there's so many moments, bro. We'd be up late dying laughing at like new girl quotes or.
Do
like,
you remember
here
at
we go.
FCCLA, we're all hanging out in that area where that people had their booths. You went over there to go get fitted for a suit for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't know why that fitted suit was there. Maybe it's
Yeah.
for graduation purposes.
Uh-huh.
But we were still really into ultimate frisbee. And one of us on one
And we
side
still are now.
launched that frisbee really high, and one of the girls at the far booth caught it right in her face, and we all ran. Do you remember that?
Who threw it?
I don't know. It was someone on our team, but we ran it so
the only
fast.
part of that I remember is whenever I was told by somebody else to come dressed nice.
Yeah.
And
Given a suit.
y'all showed up in street gear and acting like everything's normal. And then I show up dressed nicer, and then I'm looking at y'all like,
yeah,
I wasn't told I can just wear whatever. So
oh my word,
it was fun, bro.
That was a lot of fun. Good memories.
And then going downtown, shooting some videos of you, you with a wolf outfit. You remember that one?
That, yeah.
You're breakdancing. Bro, we haven't even told them what you used to do. Talk about these breakdancing, bro. Tell them what the OG be doing. That's the real G moving in silence.
The night I came back, we went downtown because Oklahoma City has changed a lot.
Yeah.
We went down to the garden section. I tried to breakdance. Literally pulled a hamstring. I've not danced for 3 years prior to that.
Right.
I think my days are behind me, but
nah.
I like to dance in front of my girls because they laugh and get a good time. Yeah, but these hammies are like,
You battle your kids?
What's that?
You battle your kids?
No. I want to start getting back into it. There's a studio that asked me to come in and teach how to dance.
Really?
I was like, yeah, I'll think about it. It's nice to talk about it, but to be about it,
no fun, right?
These bones and muscles are built for something else now. They ain't the same anymore.
Bro, tell them about whenever you used to, you'd be spinning on your head.
On my head.
For how long?
Long time.
Don't you hold a record for it?
My brother does.
But you were up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I was. We put a lot of practice time into what we were doing, and went to a lot of out-of-state competitions, and we were definitely on the competitive circuit.
How long could you and your brother Junior spin on their head for?
We'll say 2 minutes. 2 minutes does not sound like a lot of time, but it's an eternity when you're on your head.
Yeah, just spinning.
Yeah,
you not get done.
I wish I could show you the ball spot, but we're not going to.
We got the headphones on. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I can't get them off.
Right, that is wild, and they would be going on for a while.
Yeah, and then when I got chunkier in life, and then we started doing the PE thing, I couldn't do very many breakdance moves, but I could stand on my hands and be a crowd pleaser.
I remember that one show whenever you and Junior were going at it. You were making fun of your weight at the time, but you would go like da 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 da, and then you would have him run up, kick you in the chest, and then do a backflip, and then start head spinning.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
Yeah, he used to jump off my chest, not kick me, but
I've
always been telling him that. Yeah, he always used me as a tripod for his moves, but it was true. Do you remember you were DJing at a party one time out there in your what's that place? Yukon Mustang. And it was a big house for a big event, and there was a dance floor right in the middle of their yard, and it was super lit. Like, it was a lot of fun. And I went out there and I was like, all right, I'm gonna dance in front of everyone. They were like, get it, and you were like, get it. It's me, you, and Kels. Okay. And my first hand hop I did, my leg split, and all my anatomy came out, and I scarred all these little kids. If the police were there, would have got arrested for indecent exposure. But I remember freezing just like that. One normal person would have came down after that. I felt that breeze on my nether regions. And I was like, they going to learn today. They going to learn today. No, the real story is I got down so fast and ran back to the truck. The one day I decided to go commando, it was not not the move.
Bro. Hold on.
Yeah. Everyone was like, oh my goodness. My wife was like, she was the only one that was like, hey, Poppy, get it. So now I know what,
Oh my God.
Now I know what does it for my wife.
Being compromised in public.
Bro, there was a bunch of girls too. It was like for a graduation party, but there was mainly girls there for some reason. You know how many counts and charges I would have been brought up on? Like 80 counts of indecent exposure. Oh, man. And it was a Christian event at that. That made it worse. Yeah, that lady, I can't believe you remember that lady. She's like hours passed as I'm like trying to keep my legs together walking around. And that lady invited us to the hot tub, and I was like, "No, that's a big no."
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Ah, God.
Good times.
That's the hardest I've laughed on this podcast to date. Oh my gosh. I just got a visual of like whenever you were doing the hand hops and you just is that the time you're talking about?
Yeah.
And that's the movie that you were talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so let me describe what the hand hops was for people who do not know. So and at the time you were a little bit larger. A lot larger.
You saying I'm skinny?
You are, bro. You got out of the truck earlier. I was like, "Who's that?"
Hey, turn up the burn up.
It's like that's wild. Anyways, so you were a little bit bigger, and like the hand hop, he's pretty much doing a handstand while kicking. He would make the crowd usually go like this, and then all the kids would go, this is funny. He's about to do something with his hands. Nope, he does a handstand. Bout now kicks his legs back and forth. And what you just described, I've got the visual of you standing there on your hands, legs split us up, and then that's what's showing to the public.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it was to paint a better picture. It was hand hops like this, back and forth.
Yeah.
But I opened my legs at that one because I was going to go down into a head spin. So not only were they exposed, they were like wide exposed, and the rip went all the way up. And the rest is history. It was.
I wish that
it was a full circle too,
I
bro.
wish that Instagram was popping more back then, because that
Something's popping. I tell you that much.
that would have been viral on the internet right now.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm glad
my
it
God.
wasn't.
TMZ
To be honest with
would have
you,
been on you real.
you can't
quick.
live that stuff down. What's on the internet? It's on there forever.
Exactly, and that would have been hilarious. I could go back, watch it over and over. Zit. Cheese.
Surprise. Welcome.
Kelsey in the background. Baby,
Yeah.
baby. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Yeah, I thought my wife gasped when it happened.
You heard her? Or was that the rip of
Instant
your pants?
Sweat. Well, it was probably a combination. Instant sweat
Zit.
starts going down her face. I knew what she was trying to do. She was trying to flirt with me.
She probably paid you to do that move.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. But it was just amazing. Everybody's always mind blown when you were doing that move.
I did that once when we first started out Project Elevate. JoJo and everyone else was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of us there, and we did that FCCLA in somewhere near the Panhandle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a rip of the pants. It was a fart, and some of the pressure that I put on my stomach when I'm doing those moves, like it forces my guts to move around a little faster. And I remember it was dead silence in the part of the song. Boom, boom, boom. Song ends. As soon as I hit the ground, this atomic fart comes out as I hit the ground on my stomach. And there are some things I wish I probably wasn't a part of back then. Like at that moment, I wish I was like not in that building. But you know how it is dealing with kids sometimes. They don't let you live that stuff down.
But they probably thought it was hilarious.
Probably. And like you said, I'm glad I'm not on the interwebs with that stuff.
Oh man, dude. The funny things. I think that if we can cut it right where it's like the actual funny parts of our videos back in the day that you shot and edited, shout out to you. But all of those actual funny parts we should repost. That would be fun.
Yeah, I'll work on that. I'll see if I can find them. Because I'm a data hoarder. I keep hard drives on terabytes, on terabytes, on terabytes.
Right.
See if I can find it all.
But yeah, so you're hilarious, bro.
Hey, you're hilarious, bro.
What do you look around for?
Oh, nothing.
For your dignity?
Yeah.
Where did it go? I'm just going to bromance it up here today. That's what I thought I was going to get into earlier. So that's why I had to cut back on the compliments, because I was saying too much for you.
About what?
How much I love you.
Oh, I love you too, man. I don't
yeah.
think that's a corny concept at all. I think we should all tell each other.
I'm just playing. I really do, though.
Oh, you playing now?
No,
Okay.
I was saying that I'm playing about joking that I stopped anyway. So, yeah, it is kind of a corny concept to make it seem like you're too manly to tell somebody that you love them. That's stupid.
Let me tell you something.
Oh.
Our casket's going to be the same size. We can't take any of this with us. And one day we will perish. I want to go to my grave. Hey, this doesn't make the podcast, by the way. I want to go to my grave with the least amount of regrets as possible, and to say how
Facts.
much I love people and to say how much they're doing well
Definitely.
in life. When did we take a turn that it's ever a corny thing to compliment one another on what they have? Hey, your stuff is looking good, bro. Like
Right.
you're looking right, you're looking good. Hopefully that inspires somebody else, not on the agenda to make sure that pay it forward compliment goes somewhere else, but just so you know, I am proud of you.
Yeah.
I am proud of you. And I don't think it's a corny concept at all for people.
I think that even you were the one that taught me the biggest thing back in the day, 12, however long ago. The biggest thing about like comparing and then trying to compete, against other people. And it's like, you hear that all the time, like compete against, what I'm saying? You want to do better than boom, 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 whatever. But it's like, why do you want to compete against other people when other people are not even competing against you? Mm-hmm. Right? So like this whole concept of I'm trying to do better than somebody else is foolish. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why are you trying to do better than other people whenever you are not even better than your person that you were yesterday? Mm-hmm. You're still comparing. You're still gossiping about other people. You're still talking negatively about other people. You are just as worse than you were yesterday. Today. Yeah. Like, what's the point? Like, all of us can do better together and do bigger things. Mm. If we didn't connect, Generation Y wouldn't have been a thing. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's a part of anything in the future, it's all going to be bigger because of everybody collaborating. Yeah. Collaboration over competition is the way to go. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, I was talking to a friend about that, and we were going to do a podcast called A Million Words and No Thoughts. Or, sorry, I get dyslexia sometimes. It's A Million Thoughts and No Words. You think a million different things up here, but nothing comes out of here. And then you start to overanalyze the story. You start to overthink, well, that person's in competition with me. I got to do better. But if you really look at it, the corny thing, as they used to say, is you got to compete against yourself, which is true. Because you are the best at what you do. Right. Why compete with anyone else? Yeah. If you start to compete with yourself, you only become bigger. Then you start to create those wakes of like how good you actually are. Yeah, yeah. Because you found the person that you're supposed to be in competition with, and then you just let loose on that. Yeah. Then it starts inspiring people. But you can't ever get to that if you don't ever really like start diving into like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Just the other day, I started as this company asked me to do green screen on everything that they do. These mobile green screens, because they wanted to put their car on Mars. They wanted to have like this Viking warrior in like the middle age times. I don't know anything about that. So Googled the heck out of it. And then they started sharing it around our town and started going up on billboards and stuff like that. And it was all because I just like Googled a lot of that stuff. They didn't tell me. I found it like driving to Costco, and there's the ad that I did. It was up on a billboard.
And it was a car on on Mars?
It was a car on Mars, yeah.
That's fire.
But if you adapt to that mindset that I'm in competition with no one, then your skill set will start to like exponentially grow. And there's a quote that I heard from a guy named Ian Green a long time ago. He says, when you go to create large volumes of work, create anything and everything, and it starts the creative concept and in your mind to like, I don't know what I'm good at just yet. I know that I haven't found my niche somewhere. Yeah. Now I'm going to start creating all this stuff. You'll find yourself in there somewhere eventually. And definitely. I feel like I have found it in my building commercials and whatnot, but it's huge. It's all fun. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, man. I feel like you evolving as a person, and that's what I feel like gets the growth of what. If you don't like change, then you will never evolve, right? If you never evolve, then you become stagnant, and you just stay. Like, let's say you hit the ceiling of life, you know what I'm saying? And then like you stay there at the age of 30 or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30. That's what I was saying.
Hey, shout out 30s.
Shout out. The whole first how many years? Say 1, 0 to what? 10 or 12. You're trying to just figure out physically what life is, right? You're like, wow, I'm growing. My body hurts, all this kind of stuff. And 12, you start realizing, dang, things are dropping, really changing. My voice gets deep. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, and then between there, you start to try to figure out, okay, well, how do I get acceptance? You know what I'm saying? How do I create who I am kind of thing, right? You graduate high school, you start realizing, oh, dang, there's a whole world of opportunity and resources and all this life. Like, what do I do? All these things. Everything's fun. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, you lose, for one, the structure, all that kind of stuff. Then you get into like the college experience or whatever you do out of college or out of high school. And then you start low-key capping yourself in your 20s thinking like this is all really life is, right? and not really finding a purpose. So you cap yourself off at 30 or something like that and thinking like the rest of your life, this is as good as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
So you stop here. But that's only 30 years of your life. Most people live until what? 70s, 80s? You still got a whole nother lifetime to create and evolve and change who you are. You are changing throughout the 30 years. Why stop there? You know what I'm saying? Keep evolving. We've got to get accustomed to change.
Absolutely.
And if you are upset about change, then do something to change it.
Mm-hmm. Oh. That's what I'm talking about.
Real G's moving silence like a
hey, man. We're gonna...
you gotta end it with that. My lips be popping, dude.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And
I'm not talking about how they look, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying
I'm talking about how they look,
popping.
and I'm appreciating being in the presence of them.
My lips?
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, man, yeah, I know you gotta go.
Thank you for coming to my podcast.
I know you're trying to end this podcast session like you got stuff to do. My bad. All right, man. Well, I've never ended this one on where the guest ends it. So tell people where they can follow you at. So we can wrap
absolutely.
This thing up. You got stuff to do.
Yeah,
Jeez.
GNWY.com. We got shirts like these out for sale right now.
What does that mean? Storyteller?
Storyteller, yeah. I had a lot of people say, hey, man, you're a
all
good
right,
storyteller.
wrap it up. We got stuff to do. We'll cut this off.
GNWY.com. You can order some shirts there, all social media outlets, JNG Media. And, yeah.
I appreciate you coming off.
Hey, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you coming out, okay? Lord bless this man. Thank you for having me so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure being here.
Definitely.
I watch your stuff every single day, so to be on the show.
You never knew that we had a Generation Y podcast page.
Never. Until today.
So you don't watch anything at all.
I got caught up quick this morning, so.
While you're at Brahms thinking of the Real G's moving silence like lasagna.
I was looking for lasagna, actually.
At Brahms? You're in the wrong place. Golly.
We should go eat Cece's sometime.
Nah.
No? Too good for Cece's?
I don't.
Got bad memories? $11?
Nah, we should do it, low key. I haven't been there in years.
Oh, you eating healthy?
I've been trying, yeah.
Oh, okay, dope.
Yeah. Trying to eat healthy.
I seen the energy drink you had earlier and tried to hide it in Starbucks cup. I mean, it's whatever, dude.
You taking shots at me?
Hey, at least I openly tell you I drink a liter of sweet tea before I come in here.
I never said that I'm trying to hide something.
You said be sarcastic at the beginning. Now this, you know I'm native. This is mild. Now, mild.
Mild. This is what I asked for. Is us.
Mm-hmm.
This is
raw.
Us.
Absolutely.
Raw. Nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty.
Mm-hmm. So I got a joke for you. Then.
Native.
You want to hear a native joke? Your mama's so old she was.
Wait. It's a native joke.
Or
is it your mama?
Because from a native.
No.
I guess it authentifies
You can't say this is a native joke. It's say your mama's so old.
Okay.
Like that. Okay.
Because it comes from the res.
All right, my bad.
Your mama's so old she was a waiter at the Last Supper.
It's pretty good.
Hey, I appreciate that. That was something I've been cooking up.
I heard a your mama joke in second grade and never forgot it because it was so funny to me.
Tell me, please.
Whenever I was in second grade.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's probably not as funny. But your mom is so stupid that she tripped over a cordless phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll just sit in that for a minute. I hear my nose wheezing. Someone's trying to buy my truck right now. Your mama's
is it getting impounded while we were just talking?
No, my truck's in Canada.
Oh.
It's okay. Welcome. I heard one more and then I'm going to end it on that. But your mama's got so many missing teeth, it looks like her tongue's in jail. I don't make the rules.
I just break them.
Really quick. I'm going to show you that hand hopping video. I know it's not going to be able to translate to
that is hilarious.
Other video as well, but
we can airdrop it to Taylor.
Hey.
By the way, shout out once again to Studio 29.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a beautiful studio.
Yeah, for letting us come through and invade and waste their time. So, yeah, we appreciate it. That was good. I saw that. I saw it over there. They're gonna have a seize whenever they watch that part. So yeah. Anyways, are we about to pay for the people? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. So you took the footage too. I don't know. Can they see it? Was that the fart or was that the rip?
Oh, see how I moved that stage. It's like 2 sacks of potatoes.
2? Bro.
Watch this. Crash. Why were you ready? Why did you have that sound effect queued up so quickly? Like you've been meditating on that?
You told me that you shook the stage. I was trying to make it more impactful.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
But you wouldn't do that now because you lost the 2 sack of potatoes.
Yeah, yeah. I really don't see it in myself about that, but I have worked.
You worked hard.
A lot.
What did you cut out? What did you cut out?
Nothing. I upgraded my water supply.
That's
I
it?
drink 4 liters of water a day, which is, I'm not going to embarrass myself. Look it up in gallons. I don't know what it is. I've gotten too custom. I can't go back.
Okay.
I used to knew what it was in gallons, but anywho.
That's fine.
Updated my water, updated my water intake and started walking a lot more.
Yeah.
Just recently I started running 2 miles in the morning every day. Not because I want to, because of stress. Now here's things we don't talk about. As young men, I'm not young. I'm trying to put myself in that category. Listen to me. I'm 36 years old.
30.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But having 2 little young ones, we can't figure everything out. So I read that put your body through some cardio and it might help you free up your thoughts. So I started running more.
That's why you should have came and played Ultimate Frisbee yesterday.
Yeah. I wish I would have came and came through with that, but
it's fine. Next time.
Yeah, next time.
Next time.
Next
Yeah.
time.
So ASMR, baby.
Where's the yogurt?
What's up?
Something wasn't right about that.
That's what me and Junior
I'm going to
used
clean
to do.
these mics after.
That's what me and Junior used to do.
I used to do that. Oh, wait, I can't
No,
even do it. I got to go to the bathroom now.
Why?
Because I drank 2 liters of sweet tea before I got in there. I'm trying to be all cool and talk about deep stuff about, what's going on in the world.
The funny
I actually
part,
was trying not to pee.
That's why you got quiet so many times. The funny part about it is, okay, go ahead. Yep.
My dad.
Is he good?
He means a suicide drink. He doesn't know how to text very well. I've been working with him.
You got me nervous.
My dad just sent me.
What the heck?
My dad just sent me a text. On your way home, can you get me a suicide, please? It's a suicide drink. You put all the Frosties in it.
I know what that is, but
but if I didn't know he knew that's what he said yesterday, then I wouldn't.
Bro, my heart just dropped. Dang, home. Man. Jesus.
Hey, we're helping these parents out here.
How does...
Helping these parents out here.
Can you explain what a suicide drink is for people who don't know that's under the age of 30? Jesus.
Those Frosties, when you go to 7-Eleven or On Q, the red Frosty drinks.
You mix them all.
Right. It's called a suicide.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
I can't laugh anymore. My stomach hurts. So
what was funny about just a second ago, though? You went like this, about to go really hard on this thing. And then you stopped and said, man, I got to pee.
Dang.
So it made me think that doing this made you had to pee, but you've been having to pee.
It's so tight right now. Whatever I do.
What is tight?
My bladder. Ouch. Don't make me laugh. Hey, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
He's looking for the red button. He can where's the stop button?
Cut it.
But anyway, appreciate you coming on, bro.
I appreciate you having me, man, so much. I've learned a lot. And, big ups to people that are watching. Find your dreams and your purpose. Also, check me out, JNWY.com. Order some shirts. Support the movement.
Exactly. If you want to support some Canada stuff, it's out there. It's out there. They're doing stuff too.
Shout out to Canada.
Shout out to Canada. 6.
Hey.
6.
You're saying 666?
No, I said it more than 3 times.
This guy just turned real quick.
That was Drake stuff. So,
okay. Shout out to OBO.
You know Drake?
Which one? The rapper? The artist? The
The only Drake that matters.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What other Drake do you know?
Drake Von Don, Drake Von Do. I'm just making up stuff now. Drake on you. I can't laugh anymore.
This is like a challenge. Whenever you gotta pee so hard, and then you just keep making people laugh to try to see who,
it's gonna be
who
like a
pees
garden
their pants
sprinkler.
first.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a garden sprinkler.
Like the ones under high pressure. I'm gonna go see what the neighbors are up to.
I wonder what the is for. Is there like something that's blocking stuff?
Mm-hmm. It's the gallbladder, the gallstones. Shoot gallstones out too. Oh man,
you're shooting out gallstones. So this is a help. It is applying the pressure because that's how diamonds are made.
Under pressure. Hey,
going back to motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Diamonds are that's dope.
Applied under pressure. I'm gonna be shooting diamonds of gallstones because I'm applying pressure. Anyways, Jay Andrew Media, thank you so much for coming out, bro, all the way from Canada. You're amazing. You're a creative genius. You're the man. And once again,
I hit the right one.
Yeah, you really did. I was surprised too. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Tune in for everything Generation Y.